That said, you could see through there, so you kind of knew that there is a roof. And if you turn around and you're paying attention again, you'll notice a ladder. You have a lot of souls right now. And if you're not paying attention, you will come into a boss fight with archers at your back. The game at this point, it is fairly safe to say, is kind of stopping with the punch pulling. You want to be paying attention. You can't fly down here either. Yeah, in Dark Souls 2 you can slide down ladders and it's much faster, and I like it. Beautiful, beautiful set piece here. But but the fact that you went through a fog door like that, and the fog door appeared again behind you, you know what you're getting into here. So you walk out here, you know, you know something's gonna come. If you're smart, you thought behind you and already took care of those archers, but ahead of you is the Taurus Demon. This is the game being like, alright, buddy, you made it through our first area, but can you beat a boss? I'm gonna say, just from the start, don't fight him like this. It's worth noting that he is so large that it is much harder for him to hit you if you are right in his groin. So just get all up in that junk. But do be careful, because if he does hit you, he will knock you back. And this walkway is in a bit of a state of disrepair, let's say. Woo! Again, only the head of that axe will actually hit you. But he will slam it down sometimes. There's no be-all, end-all strategy to win this. Hello. Oof, that even knocks your shield away. Again, you see at the start an emphasis on very large, very just meaty creatures. Oop. This is a dangerous place to be. And it's, again, boss fights have weight. They have a lot of weight, especially because this guy actually does hit like a truck. Oh, can I get him to do it? No. Why did I not? Sometimes button presses don't register, and that is one of the things that annoys me about the game. I am doing this slowly. So I am in fact going to disengage and remember the fact that there is... Oh dear. Ow. I'm fine, everything is fine. There is an area up here. And you can pull actually the same trick that you pulled on the Asylum Demon. You can in fact pull it repeatedly if you have the nards. Woohoo! Again, so much weight. There is definitely... I love the fact that they put in that, you know, the similarity between this boss, ow, and the other demon, and the Asylum Demon. You know, A, it's a demon. You sort of have ideas of what a demon is in this game. But B, they fight very similarly, so if you were paying attention then, that was close. You learn a lot here, but they also change it up a lot, because now you're fighting in a completely different, you know, arena. By the way, rolling is sort of the way to do this. You can dodge his attacks a lot better if you roll. But do be careful that you keep enough stamina. Again, fight him with the drop attacks if you want this to go a lot faster, if you want to be a lot gamier about it. Also potentially use the iron pine resin, or the pine resin that you got. You can stagger him though if you do enough damage. Oof. I'm gonna roll. The game actually buffers inputs sometimes, and it can be really awkward when you mistime something and then end up doing it afterwards. I'm pretty sure the pine resin actually makes really quick work. But kind of had other ideas for it. Ow. His attacks have so much weight that they will actually, like, you know, they have a bit of a shockwave around them, and a lot of enemies have that, but I believe this is the first one, really. Alright, I've said enough about him. Let's just end this. Oh dear. Or maybe get ended by this. Woohoo! Jump for me now. I could probably have gone in and killed them there, but I do want to be really careful here, because there is that ledge right over there. Yeah. If you get knocked off in this direction, you are pretty dead. Do be careful. Oh, thank you, Demon Head. Get a humanity and a homeward bone, but we're going to press forward. The homeward bones are actually a new addition, I'm pretty sure. They definitely didn't give you to those every boss in the original game. Now, one thing that the game is a bit weird about is most destroyable items don't have anything in them, and you kind of know that from the start because it's just a barrel. But if there is a corpse in any way obscured by a barrel or a box or anything like that, it will always have an item. It's something that the game teaches you kind of subtly, but boxes are destroyable and gamers love destroying boxes, so it's not the kind of thing that you'd have too much trouble, like, teaching a player to do. Another locked door, but a rather familiar-looking bridge and a rather familiar-looking parish, now that I see it. But something that I think we'll all find a bit more important over here. That sure is a sun. As is that.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow. Far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
Laughs like everyone else does.
Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment.
Why not?
The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
Yeah, okay.
This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this.
So I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be, like, you have to beat the Taurus Demon to unlock the online play.
We are amidst strange
but I don't really know.
In a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
And in what is kind of a rather easily missable spot, the game gives you basically the online item that lets you go into other worlds and introduces the idea of summoning. Someone will have to tell me if this is missable, because if it is, I feel like that's really, really weird. Like, if you don't talk to Solaire, do you just get the white soapstone somewhere else? I'm genuinely curious about this, because it's so important to the game that you have that. You know, it's always meant to be an out that you can go to other people to get humanity back and, you know, help them with bosses. It would be so weird for that to be a completely missable item.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
The man that launched 1,000 memes. Solaire of Astora is a pretty cool bro. A sun bro, you might say. But we won't talk too much about that. That said, if you're paying attention, you will notice the scorch marks, and I think we know what makes scorch marks. Hello. Whoop. It is a mercy that that might not kill you. That's about all I could say about that. It is also worth noting, this dragon used to be a lot more aggressive. Here, they will actually just stick around and not bother you if you don't go past that line. That didn't used to happen. He used to be all in on the fire. It was bad. It was real bad. But you make your way over to here. You finally find that ladder. And you make some real solid progress. You open up a shortcut, and you've basically gone through the whole of the undead bird. Pretty friggin' sweet. Gone for about an hour, but I think I might go a little bit more. Maybe I'll check some things, see if they're around. Doesn't make any sense. I will check some things, see if like the merchant has any new dialogue, and I'll show you that. If he does. There's definitely ways to get him to see other things. I'm pretty sure beating the Taurus Demon boss is one of them. So let's find out. Oop. Always be careful that you didn't knock enemies further back with your swing than like with your stab than your second swing affords you. There is an interesting combat dimension there. Ah, they cover each other. Jeez, and spears can be quite quick. There you go. Wow. Oh, no you don't. As with most things, much easier alone. Most of the enemies are really set up that way, where you beat them once and you can sort of understand the way that they work. And they make the combat interesting by, you know, show you one of the enemy, then show you two of the enemies and make you try to fight them in an interesting way. Then show you two enemies and another one that you fought before that isn't so hard. But with these guys, it's different. They set up so many different, interesting encounters. It's neat.
Oh, there you are. Still keeping your marbles all together? Then go ahead, don't be a nitwit. Never hurts to splurge when your days are numbered.
There.
Oh, this one. Ain't she lovely? Her name is Yulia. She's plumb in love with me. You'd never leave my side now, would you, Yulia?
So, the petting motion is actually a cat that only the merchant can see. And this is completely intentional. This is not a glitch. There's actually a really interesting article that I will probably link in this, with this video, about, like, Dark Souls and the undead as a metaphor for Alzheimer's, and, like, the way that one person saw this throughout the game. It's really cool, and that is one of the key points behind it, that you get this person with a long dead pet, or, you know, maybe someone just potentially lost it in some way, but can't give that up, thinks it still exists. And it's something that's just hidden that you would never find. The merchant doesn't even say that the first time that you see him. It's an amazing amount of depth that a player might never see. And that's really, like, the crux of this game.
Oh, you can forget it. I'm all that she needs. Careful! She'll bite your little fingers off. Be kind, Yulia, be kind.
And they just set up this really unsettling thing where you're like, is this, you know, is that cat there? Is that the cat bed? It's so good.
Now, don't squander your time chatting. You need to look over my wares.
Fine. Yeesh. I don't tend to use firebombs a lot. Honestly, they probably would have made that fight a bit easier. Let's buy a few. 10's a nice number, right? 11's prime, though. I like prime numbers. Nah, why not? Let's buy that repair box. We're not really in need of souls right now. I think what I'm also going to do, because I kind of want to test something, is buy a short bow. Let's purchase, I don't know. It's an interesting system with this, where if you hold the numbers up, they will go up faster as you do it, so it kind of ramps up so you can buy things in quantities. It's a nice way of doing it when you don't have when the push side to side is for the OK and cancel. Good little game things. Don't mind me, just talking about things. Let's make it 53. Alright.
Oh, thank you very much.
No
Come
problem,
back
buddy.
soon.
Very friendly when you know we're spending money on you. Can I use this bow? Mildly important question. Yes, I can. I have the parameters quite easily. Okay. We're just gonna warp over. Alright, we're back at the bonfire. You can see that we now have the option to repair things, and also to access our bottomless box. I will be cutting out basically anything that I do with this, but it's a really useful item for when this game just throws a ton of crap. Items don't stack at all because swords can have, different amounts of durability even if they're the exact same sword. So your inventory will very quickly become unmanageable if you don't just throw all the crap you're never going to use in your bottomless box. That said, we are going to offer humanity to this bonfire. Burn a little bit more humanity to regain our human appearance. This is an important factor in the game that sort of is a through line of the whole game that they never really tell you about. It's good. That said, the thing that I really wanted to try is up here. Towards progress, but not quite progress. There is another combat encounter on this bridge. Oh, I don't know how this works. Ooh. Be careful. There's a Drake up there. So, another combat encounter where you're kind of set up to see the spear guy over there, but actually it's another ambush. You missed. With the sword guy, who tend to move much faster. So the spear guy is there to make you impatient, and then the sword guy comes in. Boop! See you later. And then the sword guy comes in and screws you, because they move much faster. It's really well set up. Anyway, so at the start of this game, there was a bit of a rumor that kind of goes around that the Drake was just kind of sitting up there, but his tail was just all nice and juicy. A thing about Souls games, about Dark Souls especially, is that just about everything with a tail, you can cut that tail off if you do enough damage to it. I don't know if this was something that they patched out later, but... Oops, those are bullets. These are bullets. There we go. But... there we go. If you fire enough arrows at this thing, it used to be that you got a weapon. I am going to try it and report on my findings. This will be sped up. Especially because I need to hit it. to say it was like 25 or 30 arrows, so like, this might take a bit. So, you get items for cutting off dragons' tails, and all sorts of other things' tails, but dragons especially. And this is obviously, like, intended behavior, but if you... The drake's tail sits right down there in a place where you can actually shoot it from down here without actually being in danger of fighting it. If you were observant enough and patient enough, you get the Drake Sword, which is, again, an extremely powerful sword, and it falls off later in the game. It even has less requirements than other swords in there, than the Black Knight sword, which is much higher. It falls off kind of in the mid-game, but it could be an invaluable tool, and it's the kind of shit that I found, you know, like the first time I played the game, because I heard on the internet from one of my friends that, like, yo, did you hear if you shoot the drake's tail enough times, you get a really powerful sword? I was having a lot of trouble with this game at the start of it, and the Drake Sword is probably what helped me keep up with it. You know, it's like putting the game on easy mode, but it is absolutely one of the things that kept me playing. And I thought it was so cool that something like this existed if you were observant enough, or if you heard about this from a friend online. Like, that's... So much of this game is set up to be so mysterious, and it just gives it such an interesting aura. I won't be using the Drake Sword, but I really wanted to do that because I kind of wanted to point out, like, how, you know, like, the way this game is, and my own personal experience with it, so... Thank you for watching me shoot a tail for, like, I don't know, 5 minutes. So I'll speed it up, I promise. That said, we've completed the area, so I think we're going to stop for now. I hope you enjoyed. Again, this is actually recorded on, like, Christmas night. I'm going to Scotland tomorrow. I might get these videos edited and put up, like, 1 or 2 of them. We'll see. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. I need you not to do that. There we go. I get my mouse cursor back. If I put the game on the pause menu, it still fucks up everything. Goodbye for real, I swear.